Alright, let's be honest. Fallout 76 was a bit of a flop. But that doesn't mean it can't grow, and considering how low they set the bar on launch, the only way they really have to go is up. I don't intend to sit here and repeat all the things everybody already knows. I'm gonna cut right to the meat of the matter to see if the changes made since beta have made the game a better experience for all. But in order to determine if the game has improved, we need to set up an important rule that people may not realize. Games don't have to be good to be fun.
No, I'm not sure about that one. I don't know if that checks out.
Now, hold your fingies. Get that shit off the keyboard. There are plenty of pieces of media that aren't good, but were fun to play or watch. The easiest way to demonstrate this is actually to show you the inverse. Anybody remember Outer Worlds? It was a game made by the makers of Fallout New Vegas, the undeniable perfect game as it's known on the internet. It had a great script, beautiful environments, satisfying combat, character development out the ass, multiple endings, and it made your choices matter. Yet, no one fucking talks about it. Why? Because despite the fact that it was a great game, it wasn't incredibly fun. Why? I don't fucking know. If I knew that, I'd make games, not shitty YouTube videos. But with that established, let's get into what Fallout 76 once was, so that we can compare it to what it is. Back in the olden days of Beta 76, there was a long, drawn-out note quest that would give modders of Fallout New Vegas a fucking aneurysm. It was so ass-backwards and lacking in vital information, you really had no clue what was going on. I loved it. I don't know what it was about it, but it felt almost freeing. It was like I could explore the game at my leisure.
Ooh, what's in here?
Fuck. Can't get me up here, you dumb bitch. And didn't have to listen to NPCs blather on about random shit I just don't care about.
You're back.
That, however, is more of a personal preference. I'm perfectly fine about getting the footnotes of a story if you leave bits out that I can infer myself. That kind of thing just hits different for me. Knowing that there is more to something, but that there's no one around to tell me the truth, it's a mystery, a puzzle that I can figure out on my own. Maybe I get it right, maybe I get it wrong. The point is that whatever conclusion I came to, I earned. And yes, from a writer's perspective, you could just purposefully be lazy and not fill in the details or not add an ending to get a similar feeling. But only a good author could do it well. And some of the note quests from the original version were really interesting to figure out. Of course, half of them don't mean anything anymore because there are NPCs everywhere and the eeriness of a dead state has been shattered. Do I seem upset? That's because I slightly am, but I could forgive it if they really set out to make a great story with driving forces and motives for the changes.
But did they?
Short answer, no. Long answer, absolutely not. This wasn't a train wreck, this was a full-on... It is sad to say that my favorite part about these expansions was finding a dead body outside the vault that led to a robot and a note quest. The actual story they put into this game after NPC release was downright non-existent and had twists that made no sense at all.
Why the fuck is the CIA here?
But after building a game around playing with people, do you know what they did? They made quests single player only. Why? This is an MMO. Why can players not work together on their quests? The one thing people wanted to do was to be able to play Fallout with their friends, and your answer was to make it to where the player had to either be alone or do it multiple times.
What the fuck is wrong with you?
You see, when you do a quest in a party and get to the quest area, the game will ask you if you want to help the team leader or enter solo. If you help the team leader, your quest will not update. Meaning, after you finish helping him, you have to do the quest, dialogue and all, again. This is honestly my biggest complaint with this game. I am a die-hard Fallout fan, and despite all of this, I still play this game. But there is an issue that is making me seriously reconsider.
Oh, Lord, give me the strength.
2 going on 3 fucking years in development after launch, and Bethesda finally sat down to address a big issue. Their combat system needed work. There was too much of a gap between the top DPS builds and throwing water in the floor. There was too much of a gap between the top DPS builds and the average. There were ways of getting ludicrous damage on the field and getting mutations that make you unstoppable. So they attempted a rebalance update in the launch of Steel Dawn. But this pissed a lot of people off. Ignoring that a lot of people use these powers just to troll people on workshops for clout, many people did spend a lot of time working on these builds, and the fact that it was going to be undone sent them into a bit of a tantrum. Now, people were pissed. So pissed, in fact, that Todd felt fear for the first time in his life and undid the changes. However, apparently they spent so much budget on this update that they had to downgrade their servers, and now every fucking enemy looks like Michael Jackson singing Billie Jean! Is that lag? That's right, I'm not mad about PvP, bad stories, crappy multiplayer implementation. Well, I am mad, but that's not what I'm mad about the most. This is a AAA company. There is no excuse for the servers to be this shoddy, especially when I am on a private server that I pay $12 a month for. There is absolutely no excuse for this. Fix this shit! So Bethesda has dropped the ball at every step of the way here. They have been unable to correct any issues, they were unable to improve the game, and in my opinion, the game is worse than it was at launch. So let's address the elephant in the room. The earlier point I made about a game being fun despite being bad. Yeah, no, that doesn't apply here because the game has to be fucking functional in order for it to be fun! Not a tall order, but Bethesda couldn't get it right.
But you know what they did get right?
Marketing. Until Cyberpunk 2077, no one had lied like Bethesda, garnering lawsuit after lawsuit with their blatant marketing lies. You may be thinking, well, that doesn't sound like a good thing. But it is. They lied so well, they managed to make a state known for basically nothing with an infrastructure that barely holds together be known around the fucking world. There are Japanese angels that sing the song of its people on a constant basis, and no one, absolutely no one can take that from them. I wouldn't hire Bethesda's management or dev team for anything after this, but its marketing team, if I ran for president, I would want them on the campaign.